Have you ever imagined a giant rock from a distant star suddenly crashing down to our world? In the sky, it just looks like a shooting star that quickly disappears. But when it's found, it turns out to be a treasure, even older than the Earth itself. What secrets and mysteries could be hidden in these meteorites? Let's discover the meteorites that have fallen here on our planet. But before that, please like and subscribe. That means a lot to us content creators. Thank you very much. So let's get started. There was an excavation team in Argentina that dug up a very heavy rock. It weighed more than 30 tons. According to experts, this could possibly be one of the largest meteorites ever found in the world. Imagine, a piece of space fell here on Earth. They discovered the giant rock. This is in a place called Campo del Cielo, which means field of the sky. It is located about 1,000 kilometers north of Buenos Aires. This place is known for its vast crater field left behind after a powerful meteor shower fell. That was more than 4,000 years ago. Over time, hundreds of tons of space debris have been excavated from there. And now, a massive rock named Gansedo has been added to the list. Gansedo was excavated on September 10, 2016, by a group from the Astronomy Association of Chaco. It was named after the nearest town where it was found. When they first saw it, the whole team was amazed because they did not expect its weight. Mario Visconti, the group's president, said they already expected the excavation would be heavy. But when they saw the actual weight, they were surprised because it exceeded 30 tons. Before this, the so-called El Chaco meteorite, also from the same area, was recognized as the heaviest found in Campo del Cielo. The estimate at the time was about 37 tons. But when it was weighed again using more modern equipment, it turned out to be only 28,840 kilograms, or about 28.8 tons. Because of this, Gansedo has surpassed it and is now the heaviest in the region. When compared to the largest meteorite in the world, Gansedo is only second to the so-called Hoba meteorite, which was found in Namibia in the 1920s. The Hoba weighs an estimated 66 tons and still remains in the same place until now, because it is so large that it has never been moved. Currently, Gansedo is the heaviest recovered meteorite from Campo del Cielo and one of the 3 largest meteorites in the world. Even so, it still needs to be weighed again to ensure its exact size and weight. Meanwhile, while Tony Wilding was smoking in his garden, he didn't expect that he would witness one of the most unforgettable things in his life. He was suddenly stunned when he saw a very bright fireball streak across the sky. Along with it, 2 smoky trails were left behind by the light. They looked like lines drawn by the wind in the dark night. It was flying very low. It was nearly visible, but vanished instantly, plunging everything back into darkness. That night marked the start of a long, intense journey. For more than 18 months, Tony searched for the mysterious stone from space that fell in their area. Day and night, he walked around his house and the farms. He brought different pieces of stone and repeatedly asked for help from experts. But every time he came back, he only found the same ordinary stones. But one day, while in the middle of a cornfield that had just been plowed, Tony found a strange stone buried under the dry mud. He cleaned it slowly, and its unusual shape gradually appeared. Under the thick mud, you could see the fusion crust, shiny white and with lines that sparkled like crystals. It didn't take long for the experts to notice the unusual characteristics of this stone. According to them, there is a strong possibility that this is a comet crust meteorite, a very rare type that doesn't just come from the asteroid belt like most, but may have actually come from a comet in the most remote part of the solar system. Its surface is covered with tiny marks, traces of gases that escaped as it fell through our planet's atmosphere. These details are what can be found even more closely, added to the mystery of the stone found by Tony. Because of the extraordinary beauty and value of the meteorite, Tony received many offers from various collectors and even from museums. It is estimated that it could be worth more than $100,000. However, money was not the first thing that came to Tony's mind. Instead of selling it, he chose to keep it in his own home. He carefully placed it on top of his side table. Aside from this, in 1993, scientists discovered that the rock called Allan Hills 84001 was not just an ordinary rock. Through careful examination, it was determined that this was a fragment from Mars itself. Its age is estimated to be over 4 billion years, dating back to the time close to the formation of our solar system. The rock was found in 1984 in Antarctica at Allan Hills, which is where its name Allan Hills comes from. When scientists examined the inside of the meteorite, they noticed unusual orange carbonate grains that could only have formed in the presence of water. This is an important clue that there was once liquid water on Mars in ancient times. Under the electron microscope, structures that looked like fossils were seen, tubular and globular shapes resembling microbes. Aside from these, David S. McKay, Kathy Thomas Caperta, and other members of National Aeronautics and Space Administration praised the magnetite crystal chains. On Earth, this type of magnetite is produced by certain types of bacteria. In addition, organic molecules such as polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons or polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons were also discovered. These may have come from damaged cells, but they could also be the result of purely chemical processes. In 1996, the discovery made headlines worldwide. President Bill Clinton gave a statement that if the interpretation is proven, it will change the way we look at life outside of Earth. However, it wasn't long before an intense debate emerged. Some scientists said that what was found was not enough evidence of life. They said it's possible that the carbonates, magnetite crystals, and organics are the result of non-biological processes such as heat pressure or chemical reactions inside the rock. Although it was never fully proven that Allan Hills 84001 contained fossilized life, it had a huge impact on science. The controversy and debate marked the beginning of a new era in astrobiology, the systematic study of how to search for life on other planets. Because of this, missions to Mars were intensified, instruments for detecting biosignatures were improved, and scientists became more open to the possibility of life on other worlds. In addition, in 2010, a small group of gemstone hunters traveled to Chongi Valley, near Mogok, in Myanmar. This place is known worldwide as a source of expensive gemstones such as ruby and sapphire. There, they found what seemed to be an ordinary reddish-orange crystal. At first glance, it looked like an ordinary stone, but later on, it was proven to be the rarest mineral ever known in the history of science. Dr. Ko2, a mineralogy expert, was among those who noticed the unusual crystal. When he first saw it, he thought it was just squiglite, a common mineral. But as he studied it closely, he noticed that it didn't match any known mineral. He decided to have it examined in laboratories to find out the true identity of the crystal. His suspicion was correct. He had discovered something new. After several years of careful and thorough examination, in 2015, the International Mineralogical Association recognized the crystal as a completely new mineral. It was named Tuit in honor of Dr. Ko2, the first person to discover and pay attention to it. Because of this, the small crystal became more than a simple stone. It was a historic discovery in mineralogy. Up to now, there is only one known specimen of Tuit in the whole world. It weighs only 0.3 grams, or about 1.3 carats. This only sample is currently on display at the Natural History Museum in Los Angeles County. With only one specimen, it is extremely rare and valuable to scientists and collectors. Looking at its characteristics, Tuit has a reddish-orange color and a chemical composition of bismuth oxide. Before its discovery in Myanmar, this type of compound was only known in synthetic form. That means it was man-made in a laboratory. So the fact that there is a natural mineral with this composition is a big deal in the field of science. The crystal belongs to the monoclinic crystal system and can be compared to clinoservantite, an antimony analog of clinobisbonite. Why is Tuit so important? Tuit is remarkable because it is truly one of a kind. No other specimen has been discovered anywhere. This is proof that there are still mysteries hidden beneath our planet that science has yet to fully understand. It's also surprising to think that something once believed to be synthetic or man-made actually has a real natural origin. In addition, Tuit serves as a key to a deeper study of mineral formation on Earth. This shows nature can create compounds once thought impossible. In this way, this small crystal is not just a collection piece for museums, but also an important treasure for scientists who want to expand our knowledge about the world and the processes of nature. Similarly, in the northern part of Argentina, between the provinces of Chaco and Santiago del Estero, you can find Campo del Cielo, a vast area that was once struck by a giant meteorite shower. This likely happened over 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. During the Holocene period, a large asteroid with a diameter of more than 4 meters entered Earth's atmosphere and exploded, breaking apart in the sky and falling as thousands of pieces of iron meteorite. The result of this impact was a vast strewn field measuring approximately 3 kilometers in width and 18.5 kilometers in length. However, the spread of small fragments was even greater. It reached up to 60 kilometers from the center. In this area, at least 26 craters have been identified, and the largest among them has a width of 115 meters. Since then, over 100 tons of meteorite fragments have been recovered from Campo del Cielo. Two of the most famous and largest pieces have given this place a unique history. The first is El Chaco. It was discovered using a metal detector in 1969 and was finally excavated in 1980. It was initially estimated to weigh almost 37 tons. But in 2016, the meteorite was weighed again, and its actual mass was determined to be 28,840 kilograms, or equivalent to 28.8 tons. The second is Gansedo. Also in 2016, a heavier fragment was discovered, called Gansedo, named after the nearby town. At first, its weight was estimated. Because of its weight, it was recognized as the largest meteorite recovered in the continent of America and the third heaviest in the world. Upon re-examination, it was confirmed to be even heavier than El Chaco, which is why it is now considered the largest meteorite in all of Campo del Cielo. Upon re-examination, it was confirmed to be even heavier than El Chaco, which is why it is now considered the largest meteorite from Greenland with a mass of almost 30.9. With this record, Gansedo is second and El Chaco is third among the largest meteorite fragments recovered from the land of the Earth. Meanwhile, the meteorites in Campo del Cielo belong to the coarse octahedrite IAB type. It is typically 90–93% iron, about 6.7% nickel, with traces of cobalt and phosphorus. In addition, they also contain trace elements such as gallium, germanium, and iridium. A typical analysis showed an average of 92.6% iron, 6.67% nickel, 0.43% cobalt, and 0.25% phosphorus. Additionally, it contains 87 parts per million gallium 407 parts per million germanium, and 3.6 parts per million iridium. This detail serves as a fingerprint of the origin of these meteorites from the ancient core of an asteroid that formed before the planets of our solar system. Meanwhile, the Hoba meteorite is recognized as the largest and most intact meteorite ever found on Earth. It is a gigantic block of iron that still remains in the original spot where it landed thousands of years ago. Unlike other meteorites that usually leave a crater, Hoba is unique because it remained intact and barely moved since it fell. Discovered in 1920 by Jacobus Hermanus Brits, a farmer in Hoba West near Groot Fountain, Namibia. While plowing, his equipment hit a hard object, and that's when he discovered the huge piece of iron. Upon examination, it was confirmed to be a meteorite with an extraordinary size and composition. It is estimated to weigh over 6 tons, making it the heaviest natural piece of iron on the surface of the Earth. It measures approximately 2.7 meters in width and length and is almost 0.9 meters thick. Because of its unusually flat shape, it fell slowly from space and did not create a crater when it hit the ground. On the other hand, in terms of composition, the Hoba is made up of about 84% iron and 16% nickel, with a small amount of cobalt. It is part of what is called the ataxite group, a type of iron meteorite with a high nickel content. Because of this, it is considered a rare example of a natural resource from outer space. On March 15, 1955, Namibia's government declared Hoba a national monument. Also in 1987, the landowner donated the meteorite and its surroundings to the state. From there, a visitor center and amphitheater were built to make it more accessible to the public. But before it was protected, many people tried to damage or take pieces from it as souvenir fragments. Some parts of it were lost and sold illegally. Now, the Hoba meteorite is a famous tourist destination. Thousands of people visit every year to see this giant piece of outer space. Beyond this, the Gibeon meteorite is among the most famous cosmic relics discovered on Earth. It was found in the desert of Namibia and fell during the prehistoric period. This meteorite was first recognized by the native Nama people, who used its fragments as weapons and iron tools. In 1836, Captain J.E. Alexander collected some pieces at Fish River and sent them to John Herschel in London. It was confirmed there that it came from space. From 1911 to 1913, 33 pieces were collected near the town of Gibeon and brought to Windhoek. At that time, the collection was formally recognized and classified as a national treasure. One of the most remarkable features of the Gibeon meteorite is its vast Strunfeld, an elliptical area approximately 390 kilometers in length and 120 kilometers in width. It is the second largest. It is one of the largest Strunfelds known worldwide. According to studies, the meteorite fell about 30,000 years ago, but its actual origin in space is even older. This rock is approximately 4 billion years old, formed during the early stages of our solar system. In addition, the Gibeon meteorite belongs to the iron meteorites, a fine octahedrite from the chemical group EVA. It contains nearly 92% iron, 7.7% nickel, 0.5% cobalt, and small traces of phosphorus, iridium, gallium, and germanium. When it is cut and subjected to acid etching, the unique Widmanstätten pattern appears, a crystal design formed due to the extremely slow cooling in space. No process on Earth can create such a pattern. This is why every Gibeon fragment is considered unique. And on February 15, 1950, the collection of Gibeon meteorites located at Post Street Mall in Windhoek was declared a national monument. Since then, all meteorites found in Namibia have been automatically protected as national monuments. But in 2004, Namibia passed a law prohibiting the export and movement of meteorites. Even scientific research requires official permission to be conducted. This is to preserve the safety of these unique pieces and protect against illegal sales. Because of its exceptional beauty and durable qualities, some fragments of the Gibeon meteorite are used to make jewelry such as rings and pendants. It is valued not only for its unique design, but also for its durability. Some pieces were taken to other countries before the 2004 law took effect. For example, A 240-kilogram fragment was painted in the Netherlands and sold for a high price. Additionally, Tanzanite is one of the most beautiful gemstones discovered in modern times. This unique crystal was first discovered in 1967 in the Meteorite Hills near Arusha, Tanzania. A Maasai tribe was the first to find it while herding, and they immediately reported it to Manuel de Souza, a gold prospector. De Souza was the one who registered the first mining claim with the Tanzanian government. It was soon introduced to the world and was given the name Tanzanite by the company Tiffany & Company in recognition of the country where it was found. Tanzanite is a type of zoisite mineral with a unique blue-violet color caused by the presence of a small amount of vanadium. One of its most well-known characteristics is trichroism. This means that different colors can be seen depending on the angle and the light. It can display blue, violet, or burgundy colors. As a result, every Tanzanite piece is unique and more appealing to gem collectors and jewelers. However, in its natural state, Tanzanite does not immediately show its stunning color. It is usually reddish-brown and requires heat treatment to reveal its true blue-violet appearance. This process is done at a temperature between 400–500 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes. This is considered a standard practice in the gemstone industry and is accepted as a safe way to enhance the natural beauty of the mineral. One of the reasons why Tanzanite is so valuable is its extreme rarity. It is found only in a very small area in the Meteorite Hills, which makes it even rarer than diamond. It's estimated to be 1,000 times rarer than diamond, making it highly sought after in the gemstone market due to its scarcity. According to geologists, the deposits of Tanzanite could possibly be depleted within 10 to 20 years. It's called the gem of a generation because it may only appear once per generation. Aside from being rare, Tanzanite is now also included among the official birthstones. In 1968, the American Gem Trade Association added it as a replacement or addition to the December birthstone. Because of this, it became even more popular not only in Africa, but also throughout the world. And finally, on the morning of February 12, 1947, many people in the Sikhote-Alin mountains in Russia were surprised. Around 10:30 in the morning, a very bright fireball suddenly appeared in the sky. Its brightness was almost brighter than the sun, and it could be seen from more than 300 kilometers away. Along with the intense brightness, a very loud explosion was heard that shook the ground and reminded everyone that this was no ordinary event. This meteor came from the asteroid belt and entered Earth's atmosphere at a speed of 14 kilometers per second. Due to the extreme heat and pressure, it partially exploded while at a high altitude and began to break apart. It is estimated that more than 23 tons of material fell to the ground. Many fragments were scattered and some sank as deep as 20 feet underground or even stuck directly to trees. This caused craters in the forest. The largest is estimated to have a width of 26 meters and a depth of 6 meters. The Sikhote-Alin meteorite is an iron meteorite in the IIAB group with a coarse octahedrite structure. It's nearly 93% iron and 6% nickel with cobalt, phosphorus, sulfur, plus traces of germanium and iridium. Boom!